This is a video I had been hoping to avoid to make for quite some time, because quite frankly, I just hate bitching about stuff, but it has gotten to the point where it's inevitable, it has to happen, and, you know, and it's all Bungie's fault. This is why I'm basically done with Destiny, and it's been a long time coming, because, quite frankly, Destiny is boring. I mean, it's a game that you struggle to kind of keep playing. The gameplay, the mechanics, it's all well and good. It's good at shooting stuff. Like, I enjoy shooting stuff in this game. But at the end of the day, what do I have left to do? Because I've beaten the campaign that makes no sense. That is just, you know, go here, shoot things, go here, download stuff, go here, shoot things, go here, you know, get information. It's such a boring quest and campaign. All you really do is like to shoot things, and I'm just at a point where I'm trying to find other reasons to play the game, and Bungie keeps taking them away from me. And it's a little frustrating, you know, when, you know, you find cheese ways to win the game, to do things, when you do things that, you know, maybe are a little ratty, that, you know, I can see why Bungie might not be happy about. They might not be happy that you're making Atheon fall off of a ledge, but at the end of the day, people fall off ledges. So, you know, I could fall off a ledge. Watch this. Oh, maybe I can't. No, I can. Look at that. I can fall off a ledge. Why can't Atheon fall off a ledge? You know what I mean? So, obviously, they've got their latest round of quote-unquote hot fixes, or patches, or whatever you want to call it. And if you're wondering why I'm making a video where I'm literally walking around the tower, it's because that's the only thing that's interesting left to do in the game. Everything else that's interesting, everything else that makes me want to keep playing the game is gone. This, in my opinion, is what Bungie wants us to do playing their game. So, in kind, I'm going to make a video showing off everything that's fun about their game right now. Sitting on the ground, doing nothing. This is what counts as fun in Destiny right now. Because every time players find ways to keep playing the game, they say, no, that's not what we wanted. It's not what we envisioned. So, fuck you, we're taking it away. So, there's a lot of other things that are kind of upsetting me, and I want everybody to understand, I spent a lot of money on this game. On launch night, I bought the Xbox 360 basic version, and I got the white PlayStation 4 bundle. So that puts me in like $450. Actually, no, like $500. So then the next day, I got the Xbox One Collector's Edition, which I believe was $180, maybe $150, I don't remember. And I took the version I bought the night before back to Best Buy and traded it in. So I basically spent like $15 to rent the game for about 12 hours. And I did that because, you know, obviously I wanted to be playing it on Xbox One with all my friends. All right, this is boring me too much, so I'm going to get up. I think I made my point. So I've spent a lot of money on this game, all right? I've got all the DLC pre-purchased, and obviously once the DLC is finally unlocked on the disc, that's right, unlocked on the disc because it's all there already. People are already getting into areas, you know, by kind of, not really hacking, but, you know, manipulating their way into certain areas. You know, once that's released, yeah, I'm obviously going to play it. I paid for it. I want to like this game. I want to love this game. But just, I feel like every reason I've had has been taken from me. So, you know, as far as the DLC goes, I'm an advocate for DLC. I believe that that DLC is great. It extends the life of games. What I don't like is you taking stuff and making it during the development process, the normal development process, and putting it on a disc I've already paid $60 for, and telling me I have to pay more money to unlock it. To me, there's a point after you're done making the game that it has to take time to go through some, you know, final approvals and printing on the discs and stuff like that. That's the time you start working on DLC. And the reason why it's called DLC is because it's downloadable content. Download, not unlock. We're not going to pay money to unlock extra content on a product we've already purchased. That's not the point of download content. When we started having DLC offered to us, it wasn't so that, you know, companies could start putting out the game in pieces, and this bitch still doesn't have any new shaders. So it wasn't so that companies could start putting the game out in pieces. It was, you know, that are already on the disc and just releasing it as they go. It was so that they could extend the life of their game. It was so that they could say, hey, you know, we want you to continue playing the game, and we're going to develop, you know, extra parts to the game that we'll release to you after the fact. You know, so that you don't have to wait all this time for, you know, Destiny 2. You know, we're going to develop another planet, and we'll charge you $15 for it, which is a quarter of the price of the full game, and you're going to get a whole extra, you know, planet with 6 more missions and a new patrol zone and a new strike mission and all that stuff. That's the point of doing DLC, not, hey, let's keep on making the game, and then at some point they'll be able to unlock it when we tell them they can pay for that part of the game too. So that really pisses me off, and they can sit there and say it's not on the game, but on the disc, but it is. It very clearly is, because people are getting there, and they wouldn't be able to get there if it wasn't already on the disc. Let's talk about Iron Banner, okay? This affected me 0%, but it still pisses me off, because I stayed away from Iron Banner because I knew exactly what it was. It was people that were really, really good at the game, that had really, really good gear, that had invested lots of time, going in and looking to have a test of skill, or even a test of gear. My expectation in Iron Banner was that if you played Iron Banner, you better be a level 30, and you better be good at the game, because it's going to be hard. That was what they advertised it as, and that is what I expected it to be, and that's why I didn't play it. I didn't play it because I knew I wasn't good enough, and I knew it was just going to be frustrating. I already don't really like PvP in Destiny, so for me, it was a no-brainer. I'm not doing Iron Banner. But then something really annoying and frustrating happened. They lied. They flat out lied, and they made ways to balance Iron Banner. There was this famous video of like a level 8 or a level 6 running around with starter weapons, just absolutely crushing people. And good for him. Good for him that he is good enough to do that. But we all know that if we look at our gear, you know, his level 6 to 8 gear should have been, you know, like 50 armor or 50 defense, you know? Meanwhile, people that have, like, here's my raid helmet, max level 402, there should have been no way he could even last a second. And you know what? That's not unfun. That's actually the way that they advertise the game to be. And they say they want the game to appeal to the casuals too. Well, that is why there's regular PvP. They can go play balanced PvP. The whole purpose of Iron Banner was to be unbalanced, was to have it so that people with awesome gear and great ability were able to have the advantage in PvP. It was a test of skill, and they fucked it up. And they fucked it up. And they alienated people in the process because they lied. Or misled. If lied is a strong word, we can use misled. So In the end, it's just another way that Bungie screwed up. But the most egregious of all of it, to me, is the fact that Bungie keeps telling us how to play their game. Because this is their game, and if you don't like the way they want you to play it, fuck you. Alright? So, the loot cave. You know what? It's not an exploit. You made the game that way. People found a way to want to keep playing the game. Let them. You know what? You don't like it that they keep on getting engrams from Rahul over here? Too bad, okay? You made it ridiculously hard to find legendary engrams, and then you're mad when people find a way to get them? That's bullshit, alright? You know, farming is a thing that happens in every MMO style game, okay? And if you think it's cheap that people do it, if you feel like you earned everything the hard way and no one else should have the option to do it, that's fine. You can feel that way, but I don't agree with anybody telling somebody how to play the game. If that's the way that you enjoy the game, great. Play it that way. No problem. Considering PvP is balanced, what does it even matter what stuff people have? You know? It's balanced, apparently. And everybody is going to be on the same level. Gear doesn't matter. Even in Iron Banner, apparently. So, what does it matter if you've spent all this time, you know, getting your legendary gear or your exotic gear, and somebody else has spent, you know, hours shooting at a cave? At the end of the day, you can laugh saying, hey, I found other ways to enjoy it, rather than stand in one place and shoot at a cave. Because guess what? That's monotonous and boring and got old really quick. But it's sad when for a huge population of the people playing this game, that was the most fun they could find, is standing in one place and shooting in a cave. That should have been the problem that Destiny had with what was happening. Not that people were standing there shooting at the cave so that they could eventually get 5 or 6, you know, blue or purple engrams within an hour. No, it should be, hey, guys, we have a problem because these people think the most fun they can have is standing one place shooting into a cave. So, now I want to go into Raid. Let's talk about Raid and how unfun that can be. Alright? The first group to beat the Raid spent 10 hours doing it. And slowly but surely, people started figuring out ways to get it done faster. Because, quite frankly, who has 10 hours to sit spending doing a Raid? I guess some people do, but I certainly don't. I work 40 hours a week, and then I do this. You know? So, I don't understand how they can sit there and say, you know, let's take away all the things that people found they could do to get ahead. Because it's strategy. That's the whole point of gaming. You know, you go in, you try things, you say, oh, hey, this works. So, I'm going to go back to jumping off the edge here, okay? I can do that, but apparently bosses can't. In the world of Bungie, bosses can't fall off the edge, so they're going to have bumpers now for Atheon, because people found out, holy shit, we can make Atheon avoid damage, not realize he's on the ledge and fall off. But you know who can fall off when they're fighting Atheon? I can. I can fall, but Atheon can't? You're telling me that, you know, he is the only one that is not subject to the laws of physics? If you wanted him to teleport back onto the screen, and you could say that was a power he had, no problem. But saying he can't fall off the edge? Come on, Bungie. Like, it's like you're insulted that people, you know, found ways to get around what you thought was difficult. And I criticized Gearbox for doing the same thing with Cromarax and whoever the other big raid kind of boss was they had, because people found ways to get it done easier, and they basically said, no, we don't like the fact that you're going in and playing our game non-stop doing this, trying to get extra good loot, you know? So stop playing our game so much. It's supposed to be hard, and fuck you for making it easy. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know if they read their own comments, but everybody is mad people don't want to do this. They don't want you to do this. You know, I'm not even going to get into all the changes in the weapons, because that's inevitable in every shooter. You're going to nerf and buff all these different guns nonstop. I mean, that's going to happen. It's happened in every shooter. And while I don't agree with a lot of it, especially when you're nerfing stuff for PvE, where it really doesn't matter, you know, whatever. But what I will say is the balancing act of me being a level 28, joining on a friend that might be a level 4, and not having me be able to beast my way through stuff for them is kind of bullshit. Like, I don't know if Bungie understands that this is commonplace in MMOs. Power leveling, you know, people want to have alts because you only let them get raid gear once, you know, once a week. You know, you've got these caps on how much they can earn. You know, everything that Bungie does is basically trying to hold people back from enjoying the game. And at some point, no matter how many copies of this game you've sold, and no matter how much fun it is to shoot people in the face, people are going to say, I've had enough of this, and I'm done. And I'm pretty much done. Like, I'm not even going to go check the bounties today. I'm literally only logged in to make this video. And again, I'm running around the tower because that is all there is left for me to do that's interesting in this game. I do the same damn patrols every day. I do the same running around, you know, trying to look for engrams every day. Again, it comes down to doing the same mission. If you take away one loot cave, there's going to be another. There's going to be other areas where people come out and in quick increments. I mean, people are going to find a way to engram farm, to do their farming, because that's what they do. That's what people with no time, you know, with nothing else to do. You know, people that have nothing to do start looking for ways to get into areas of the map that they shouldn't be going, because it's exciting, it's exploring, it's finding stuff to do. So I know that me making this video is not going to mean anything, because at the end of the day, the message Bungie has sent in their post, you know, production communications, which, by the way, come across as very condescending and smarmy and sarcastic. You know, they think it's cute that they're writing these very creative posts about, you know, how the loot cave team has given up, they realize the errors of their way, blah blah blah. You know, that's all cute sometimes, but like, it actually comes across as very smarmy, very sarcastic, and very much like they're saying, you know, hey, fuck you. And that's why ultimately this game isn't rewarding to me. I don't feel like they're trying to build a community. I feel like they're trying to build a dictatorship, and nobody likes a dictator, you know. So what they need is a message to be sent, and it's unfortunate because they already have our money. They already have lots of our money. As a matter of fact, they've already made all their money back that they plan to spend over the next 10 years. And they did that the first week the game was out. So there's really not much we can do financially to tell them, hey, we've had enough. But what I can do is I can stop playing the game. And that's what I plan on doing. There's too many good games coming out. And quite frankly, I don't have time to sit here and find out what way Bungie likes me to play the game today. Because I think I should have the ability to take the game they put out, find the ways that make it fun to me, and keep doing it. But unfortunately, Bungie doesn't agree. It's, you will play the game our way, and if you're not, fuck you, we're going to take it from you. And I don't agree with that. I don't appreciate that. And as a consumer, I'm not going to put up with that. So if you want to keep playing the game and doing things with Bungie, and that's your right. I'm not trying to convince anybody, but for me, I'm done. When more content that I paid for comes out, I'll play it. But as far as continuing to invest time and effort into this game, it's not worth it. They've proven to me that they don't want me to. So I'd like to say goodbye. Sorry, Bungie. GG.